Okay, so recording is started. So, any questions so far? I mean, from the previous class, how much you have discussed? Okay, so what we discussed so far, we have discussed what do you mean by cryptography, which is the way we communicate between two parties which are sitting in two different places, and they are communicating over some public channel. So we cannot trust on that channel because some third party, Oscar, which is the adversary or attacker, is having control on the channel. So we have to be careful on that. So we cannot just send the message just like that. So we have to do something on the message to hide the message. So cryptography is the mechanism, is the way of secret writing, hiding. So that's why we use some technique on the message to hide the information. So that is called encryption technique or encryption function, which is a function of two input. It's a plain text space cause key space to ciphertext space. So and then we have started with some classical crypto system. Today also we'll continue with that. So there we have discussed SIP cipher, which is used to encrypt the English alphabet. Basically, we are shifting the position of the alphabet, and then we discuss why it is not secure because of the size of the key space. So we have decided to increase the key space size. So for that we discuss another cipher, which is also old cipher. So that is substitution cipher we have discussed. And although the key space is more there, but the problem was we are dealing with the English text, and English text is having some phenomena, some observation that E is the most frequent letter. So this information we have. So if we have this information, then we can mount the attack, which is called frequency attack or frequency analysis. So there we can just count the number of characters in the ciphertext. So for that we need to have a big size, little more size of cipher, so that we can get the reasonably difference in the ciphertext alphabets. So that if we have the more if we see some alphabets are occurring more in the ciphertext, then we can guess that that was basically E in the plain text. And so far this cipher we have discussed are polyalphabetic cipher. That means we are so same alphabet is mapping to the unique alphabet. It's not that another alphabet is mapped to the same alphabet, same alphabet or something like that. So now to overcome that attack, we have to uh, discuss the another type of cipher, which are called sorry, that was monoalphabetic cipher. So today we'll start the polyalphabetic cipher. Polyalphabetic cipher means we want to destroy that uniqueness. So that is the polyalphabetic cipher. So basic idea is to use the monoalphabetic cipher, monoalphabetic substitution while we are moving through the plain text. Anyway, we'll slowly discuss 2-3 such cipher, uh, polyalphabetic cipher. So first one we discuss is the visionary cipher. So what is visionary cipher? As we know that our crypto system has a 5 tuple. It's plain text space, ciphertext space, key space, encryption algorithm set, and decryption algorithm set. So here we take a window of size m for plain text space and ciphertext space, also the key space. So here we have the plain text of a vector basically. vector of size m. M we can choose. We will take an example where we have maybe m is 6 or something like that. So we just use this this plain text is a window. It's a vector m size vector, and each vector, say x1, x2, xm, each vector is coming from Z26. So each vector could be an alphabet. Okay. So we have a vector of size m. That is our whole thing is our on plain text, and then and similarly hypertext also will be the same size of m size vector, and we need to choose a key. So key we are choosing. Key is also a vector because basically we are going to use the SIP cipher for on each of these bits basically. So we choose a vector, key vector from this key space, which is also a Z26 cross Z like this. I mean, it's a m tuple of each coming from Z26. So if we have this key K1, K2, Km, this is our key, which is shared between Alice and Bob. Then what is encryption? Encryption is we use the SIP cipher on each of these bits or each of these alphabets. So we are shifting each of the alphabet. So first alphabet we are shifting by K1, second alphabet we are shifting by K2. So simply additions, which we have seen in the SIP cipher. And these additions are also modulo 26, because we have to again get it this to be, because this is y1, y2, this is y1, so y2 and y1 should belong to Z26. So this is, I'm not written over here, but this should be x1 plus k1 mod 26. Similarly, this is also x2 plus k2 mod 26 dot 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 xm plus km mod 26. So each operation is under mod 26. So that is the very simple encryption. So you just applying the SIP cipher on each of these bits. So now this is the encryption. Now what will be the decryption? Decryption is just the reverse of the encryption. Here we have added, so we need to subtract. For decryption we have y1, this is y1, this x1 plus k1 mod 26 our y1, and y2 is x2 plus k2 mod 26 our y2. Similarly yn. So we just apply the subtraction. Again, all operations under mod 26, mod Z26, performing Z26. So you just subtract with K1 mod 26, we get back X1. This is the this is what is called the vigilance. So we'll take an example on this. We choose m is equal to 6 maybe. So again we are dealing with the English alphabet. So we have one-to-one correspondence 0 to 25. So Z26. So here we choose m to be 6. So our vector size is 6. So our plain text we have to take a 6 windows. So windows of size 6. And then we have to choose a key also. So key is also size 6 windows, and each elements are coming from it's a vector of size 6, and each element of the vector is coming from Z26, because we are going to add, we are going to shift those character with the different values. Okay. So now suppose we choose key as a cipher. So cipher means C is 2, I is 8, P is 15, H is 7, E is 4, like this. So this is our key. So this is K1, K2, K3, K4, K5, K6, then is 6. Now how to encrypt? Because we need to, so our plain text is also a vector of size 6. So, so for encrypt we need to divide this into vector of size 6. So this is our message, we want to encrypt. This crypto system is not secure. So what we do, we first convert into this our mapping we have between the set of alphabet and Z26. So T is 19, H is 7, I is 8, like this. So we do it for all the alphabets. We convert all the alphabets into Z26, so that we can do the method. We can do the addition and subtraction, addition for encryption. Okay. Now our window size is, our vector size is m. M is 6. So we divide this into 6 size window or vector. Now our key is cipher. Cipher is basically this vector of size 6 again. So now how to encrypt? We have to do the addition, size 6 cipher individually. So to do the addition, so 19 plus 2, 21, say 15. This way we are continuing this 2 plus 6. Now here you can see we have to apply the mod. So 17 plus 17 is basically 34, but 34 is cannot be our ciphertext bit, so you have to convert into mod 26. So that's why we have written encryption is add mod 26, so that will become 8. So similarly here also on this next window we have these bits. We continue with that. In the last window we don't have the 6 size. That is fine. We can just use how much we have. So we have a 3 size in the last window, in the last block, you can say. So we just use that. So this way we got this. So again we have to convert this Z26 into alphabet to see what is the ciphertext, because we are dealing with the English text. We have to see its ciphertext in the English text form. So this is our ciphertext of the corresponding plain message. This crypto system is not secure. V, X, Z, like this. So this is totally, I mean, you can, it's difficult to guess from this ciphertext that this was the plain text or this was the message. Okay. Now here we can observe that it is we are telling this is polyalphabetic. That means we want to destroy the property of uniqueness. So here if you see the S is going to different alphabet. Also you can observe that some alphabet is being mapped to different alphabets. So here S is going to Z. Here this is going to W. Here this is going to U. This is going to J, and this is going to Z. So that is the property we want in our cipher, so that we can avoid the what is called frequency analysis, because in this case we cannot do frequency analysis. Even we count the for long ciphertext, if we count the frequency also, we cannot say that this was the high frequency, because we may not get the high frequency also, because we are this even this S is mapping to different alphabets, so we may not get that frequency difference also there. The one may be high frequency, even though if we have that, we cannot say that this is mapped by E, because some other also can map by E. Okay, this is the first one, which is the mono polyalphabetic cipher. But we are using the monoalphabetic cipher in a while we are moving the window. Okay. Any question before we move to the next cipher?
Sir?
Yes, please.
So, this type of cipher is very much secure. Is there any way to decrypt that?
Yeah, so you have to decide how what is the security of this cipher. So is this secure? Yeah.
So we can apply frequency analysis after intervals of M.
After intervals of
M.
but
How
for
can
the
we know the
frequency,
aim?
yeah. So M is public.
Oh,
Because we know the encryption algorithm is public, encryption function is public. So aim is the part of the encryption function, right? Encryption algorithm. So aim is public. Only thing you don't know this cipher, that the key. I mean, the adversary is not having this, but adversary knows the encryption mechanism. So adversary knows what is aim, and they have used the visionary cipher. This thing adversary knows. Only thing, adversary is not having this thing. So can you do the exhaustive search on this? Yeah, you are carrying something attack on this. Is this secure? Can you do the exhaustive search on this?
What, sir?
Can you do the brute force method, brute force to get the key? What Oscar can do over here? So Oscar will try to get the key, try to get the message. So what Oscar can do? Oscar can apply the exhaustive search. Exhaustive search, we have used the term. Exhaustive search means brute force. Like we try for all possible keys, like we did for the SIP cipher. We are attempting k is equal to 1, k is equal to 2 in this way, k is equal to, but here your k is basically a m tuple, m tuple. So how much time it will take? So
In the key, can we use the same alphabet two times? Like if it was of 6 characters, can we use A, B, A, C, D, E?
I didn't get you. What is your key can be
Sir,
used?
sir, here the key was of 6 characters.
Uh,
So here we used here the characters used were different. Can we use same character more than once, like A, B, A, C, E, F?
for the key you are telling?
Yes, sir, for the key I'm asking.
Oh yeah. There is no such restriction on that. Instead of cipher, you can use something which is having repetition. Yeah, so
Okay.
maybe this will be 2.
Then, sir, will it be 26 to the power 6?
Yeah, so that is be 26 to the power 6, because so that's why the 26 to the power m. So that's why you need to choose m carefully so that we cannot mount the that brute force attack. Okay, but at least you can see we are unable to use the frequency analysis on this.
So if we take the key size too long, is there a compromise? Because if we take the key size too long, then there would be a chance that the window is getting too large. So the same letters would not be getting encrypted into different letters.
Yeah. So in that way, there is a no, but in the same key size, in the same window, we are using different subkeys for encryption purpose, right? So
Yes,
in
sir.
that case, in the same windows also, we can have this thing like one alphabet can be mapped from uh, more than one alphabets. So that
Okay.
we can see. So that is also a violation of the frequency analysis, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So somehow this uniqueness we need to destroy this.
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, Oscar can choose the sixth letter, like the sixth, then 12th, then 18th, multiple of 6 letters. Then he can make the frequency.
If Oscar choose the 6 letter, Oscar has to get for frequency analysis. Oscar has to get the long ciphertext. So for that, if we just do this only on 6 letters, or this way, it may be difficult, because to get the frequency, you need to have a long things, and on that you need to do it.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is the problem. So you cannot just do it for small size of the ciphertext or plain text.
Sir, why does M have to be public here?
That is the part of the encryption algorithm, and that we have decided, no, that is the basic fundamental assumption of any cryptographic system, crypto system, that we make everything public other than the key, the value of the key. So M has to be public.
So
Okay.
is there a convention that like uh, everywhere where we use it, the same M is used?
Okay, so that is also you can just for this cipher they use the same aim for everywhere. So, but you are telling that, okay, let us use for first window size M1, M2 like this. You are telling, but in that case,
No, no, no. Like right now, wherever this cipher is being used, everywhere is the same M being used.
no, but your key size is keys of length M, na, M vector. So unless you use the same M, you have to use this key to apply this addition. So you need to break it into M. So maybe in the last you don't have M because your plain text length may not be a multiple of M. So in that case, you have in the here, like in the last, you have only three alphabets. We don't have 6 alphabets, so that is fine. We just take the first three sub keys of this key vector.
Okay.
Then we will do it. Okay. Okay. So next we will discuss the permutation cipher. That is also another name which is called transportation techniques. So transportation technique is basically it's very interesting problem. It's called rail French technique. Rail French technique is like if we have a so this is here we are taking 2 by 2 matrix, but it can be any arbitrary. It can be 4 by 4. It can be like 3 by 3, any size. But here we are taking 2 by 2 matrix. So what we are doing over here, suppose we have a message, meet me after the party is over. Sorry. Suppose we have a message, meet me after the party is over. So this message uh, we want to convert into ciphertext. So this technique is very simple. What we do, depending on the matrix, here we have 2 by 2 matrix, we'll write this in a column wise. So if you see here, so M, E, then we have meet, E, T. So like this, column wise. If we have 3 by 3, if we have 3 rows, then it will be M, E, E. If we have 4, then T, like this. But anyway, here we are taking 2 rows. So we just use the M, E, E, T. So we write this in a this way, rail French. We are going like this, M, E, E, T, then M, E, A, F, T, E, R, like this. And then after making this matrix, we read it in the row wise. Okay, we putting this value, putting this in a column wise, then we read it in row wise. So we read the first row, M, E, M, A, T, R, P, H, P, R, like this. And then next row, E, T, E, F. If we have another row, we read that. So this is our ciphertext. So this technique is called rail French technique. So we'll use this technique for our next what is called next polyalphabetic cipher, which is called transportation cipher or permutation cipher. So here also we are taking the window size M for encryption. So we have plain text. Plain text is of size M alphabets, x1, x2, xm. And here key we are taking, basically we want to shuffle these positions. So we have a M character, we have M alphabets, we want to shuffle this, we want to apply the permutation on these M numbers. M balls. There are M balls. We want to do the linear permutation on this. So maybe x1 will go to this place, x2 will come to x1 place, like this. So we want to do we want to shuffle these positions basically. So that's why, so there, since this is M bit, so we need to choose a permutation of size M. So this is our key set. Key set is basically set of all possible permutations from 1 to M. So that is because we have M characters, M alphabets. We have to shuffle it. So very simple. We have to do this. We choose a key from this key space. Basically, we choose a permutation from this, which is a bijective mapping from 1 to M to 1 to M, and then we apply that for encryption purpose. So this has to known with the receiver and the sender. So Alice and Bob. So Alice and Bob need to agree with this key with the permutation. So they choose a permutation. So everything is public over here. Only thing, the which permutation they are choosing, that is secret. So that is the typical secret between Alice and Bob. Only they know what is the permutation. Nobody else. But everybody on the world knows they have used the AIM. They have used they are going to use this cipher encryption mechanism. Okay. So we just do the shuffling of these positions. That is the permutation we use. Depending on the permutation, it will shuffle like that. So the first position will be x of phi 1. So if say x2 is coming here, I mean, yeah, so x of phi 1. So whatever phi 1. So I will see the example. So this is the encryption, and the decryption. For decryption, we need to use the inverse permutation on this, because again we need to get back in the same positions. So this is y1, y2, but y1 is basically some shuffled of this x1. So we need to get back the x1. So again we need to apply the inverse permutation to get back the x1. So that is the decryption process, inverse permutation. Anyway, we'll take the example. So suppose we choose m is equal to 6 again, and so we need to choose a permutation from 1 to 6 to 1 to 6. So there are how many permutations? From 6 to 6, we have factorial 6 permutations. So among these we choose one. Suppose this is the one they have agreed, Alice and Bob. This permutation they are going to use for their encryption and decryption purpose. So that means this 1 is going to 3, I mean x1 is going to x3, 2 is going to 5. So just the shuffling we are shuffling the bits. Sorry. We are just shuffling the bits. Yeah. So now, yeah. So we will take this example. We take this permutation, and then what is the corresponding inverse permutation is this. Because 3 went to 1, so that means 1 will go to 3 like this. So you can easily get the inverse permutation. Okay, so under this permutation, if this is the plain text, this is the message Alice wants to send to Bob. Defend the hill top at sunset. Suppose this is the message. So now again, what we need to do? Sorry. We need to break it into 6 windows, because we are going to apply this permutation on these 6 windows. So we just break it into 6 letters. So defend the hill like this. So this is first window. So this is our x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6. Now we are going to shuffle these bits using this permutation. So if you see this permutation, this x1 is going to x3 and x2 is going to x5. That means this will come to x3 here, and this will come to x5 here, like this. So we just use shuffle the bits for on this plain text x1, x2, xm. We are just shuffling the bits, nothing else. Shuffling the alphabets, changing the positions. We are not adding anything. We are not subtracting anything, we are not multiplying anything, we are just, that's why it is called permutation or transportation cipher. So we are permuting, we are applying the, we are changing the position of this bits. So this way we continue over all the windows. This is the first window, then we apply the same permutation on the second window, apply the same permutation on this window like this. So we got this message. So this is our ciphertext. Okay. Now this ciphertext Alice will send to Bob for decryption purpose. So how Bob will decrypt it? So Bob has to have this same permutation 5, and then Bob can, if we know the permutation, then we can easily get the inverse permutation. So Bob can get the inverse permutation, easily generate the inverse permutation, but Bob can apply the inverse permutation on this. So then we get back the message. Okay, very simple. But we use the permutation technique. We use the we are not adding, we are not subtracting, and not multiplying. We are just shifting the position. These are the technique we use for the modern crypto system also. Like we shuffle the bits. So like this. Any question on this?
So what will be done if the length of the plain text is not the multiple of 6?
Yeah, if the nail, yeah. So if the length of the plain text is not multiple of 6, then we can use some dummy alphabet there, and then we can ignore that part. I mean, we know that as Alice and Bob both knows that that length of the plain text. So that is also can be added. Like we can use some, suppose in the last we have the set sun up to sun we have, then we can use some dummy character if we use. Or any other suggestions?
But by permutation, some dummy character can come before the main character. So how Bob would decide that what will be maybe the dummy character and what
No,
is the main
Bob.
character?
Yeah, but so Bob has to know the length of the plain text. So that means when Bob will know the length of the plain text, so Bob will, after decrypting, so Bob will ignore that last 3. You got my point. I mean, if we are using dummy, hello,
Okay, sir.
then Bob has to know the how much is the what is the length of the this thing. But length, how Bob will know the length? That has to share, na?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes. How Bob will know the length?
So you
It is
said that
public.
it is public, right?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my question is how Bob will know the length?
From the key, from the length of the key.
Sir, it is public.
Length you want to be public.
Sir, it is in encryption scheme.
No, encryption algorithm is nothing to do with the total length of the plain text, a message, right? I'm asking the total length because we are just breaking into Windows, na? So as you said that if we have not having the last one is not having the like earlier one, but here we are using the permutation, so we need to, maybe we need to take the full set. So there we need to show, so that in yes.
So in the dummy letters, we can use the least used letters, just like Z or uh, like J. The letters will be identified as dummy.
So anyway, but that
Sir,
yeah, but that information also need to share, na,
yes,
with
sir.
the with Bob. That is the thing. So instead of sharing that, we can share the length. But my
Yes.
concern is, are we losing if we share the length?
So Alice can do another thing if he just do the permutation, and if he uses the dummy character for encryption, then just after doing the permutation he can neglect the all the dummy characters. Then if he sends that to Bob, then Bob will get the length of the characters, because after encryption, just Alice neglecting all the dummy
No,
characters.
but if we use the dummy character in the last window, then the dummy character may get it into the original. I mean, the within the range of this your last. Suppose your suppose your this ACT is not there in this example. You use some dummy character NNN T3N. So now that 3N may come into this depending on the permutation you are using.
So the
So
dummy
that,
character should not belong to the alphabet set. So it should be a
yeah, so that,
symbol, dollar
yeah,
symbol.
so yeah, so those in, but how will yeah, so those information again are, anyway everything has to convert into binary. If you are using some symbols also, it has to be because ultimately you have to transmit. So while you are transmitting, you have to convert into 0 1 bits. So even if it is character, some symbols, you have to use the ASCII value, something like that for. So but anyway, so that is
So what will
yeah.
be the output if what will be the simple output if there are only 3 letters and we don't have the other 3? Then what would come in if say we are swapping the fourth one with the first one?
No, but if
So
you have 3 letters, then
yes,
you
sir.
how you will apply that permutation? Like your permutation is say what is the permutation we use? We use
Yeah.
the what is our yeah we use the permutation like 2 is going to 5, but you don't have 5. I mean x2 is going to this position. You don't have the 5th position. That is the problem. And if we use the dummy character will get it involved into that uh, into that. Uh, into that this thing, like if we use 3ZZZ, so depending on the permutation, that 3ZZZ can come here, at least one of them may come here in these 3, the original size of the plain text. So now and the original plain text will come into the last, say some of the bits. So if you ignore that, then you are losing the plain text character, no? So that way you have to just, but that is okay. I mean, you can just share that somehow, but we need to see later stage whether we are if we share the length of the message, the length of the message can be shared. Okay, so anyway, let us move to the last one of this this example, which is, I'll come back to this, Playfair cipher. This is another example of old crypto system which are polyalphabetic cipher. Sorry, yeah, polyalphabetic cipher. Okay, so hello, any question?
Sir, but this transposition technique is not secure, right?
Yeah, so security, how it is, you have to tell me. So what is, we haven't discussed. So is this secure, this transportation cipher?
So the computer can decrypt the successful public M keyword.
Yeah, so
So
it is if someone has to do the brute force, then the key size, the cardinality of the key size is factorial m. So in that case, we need to choose m to be large to avoid the this thing, that brute force method. Okay. Yeah, you're correct. So if we do the exhaustive search, it is factorial m. So if m is small, then it can be attacked. It is vulnerable to this exhaustive the brute force attack. Okay. Okay, the last one in this old classical crypto system is last cipher we'll discuss is the Playfair cipher. It's very interesting. So it was developed by this person Charles. So we take his name to use as a keyword. So the idea is, so here also we are dealing with the English alphabet. So we are encrypting the English text. So that is our message. Message is our English text. Now what we do, what is the encryption? Encryption is basically we take a matrix of m by 5 cross 5 matrix. So 5 cross 5 matrix means how many field? 25 fields. Okay. So we have a box of 25 fields. Now how to fill this box? That is the technique. So we have given a key. So here key is Charles. It could be anything. My name, your name, Saurabh, anything. It is the key, and there is no restriction on the size. It's not the length, something like that. So what we do, we need to fill this with the all alphabets. Like this should be filled by all alphabets. But how many alphabets we have? We have 26 alphabet, but how many rooms we have? We have only 25 rooms. So that means someone has to sacrifice. So who will sacrifice? The I and J. So I and J, they are good friends, so they have decided to stay in a same room. Okay. So that is the technique given by this person. So how to fill this key matrix? So we have to put every alphabet over here. So how to put? First we fill the key. So here key is Charles. So C, we fill it like this: CHARLES. Now if there is a repetition, we just ignore that. If there are another after A, if there are another A over here, we have already added A, so we'll just ignore that part. Okay. So only there will be no repetition because we already have 25, so if we are not allowed to repeat it here. So anyway, so Charles, after that, now we check remaining character in a sequentially. So we check whether A is filled on, yeah, A is there. So we check whether B is there. No, B is not there. So we put B. Then we check whether C is there or not. That how much we have filled. C is there. So we ignore that. So we check D is there or not. No, D is not there. So we have to put D over here. E is there. So we go like this. So we fill this using all the alphabet sequentially after filling the keyword. So this is crucial. Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
what if the keyword contain the word I?
What?
Sir, if the keyword is cipher, CIPHER, then what will we do of I?
Yeah, I will
And
put there. If the keyword is cipher, then CHI will put I there, and in the I will put J also.
okay, sir.
In the same field, because they are good friends. Okay, so we'll put I, and whenever we are putting I, we'll put J over there. And after filling the keyword, we fill the remaining alphabets sequentially, and we check whether it is already occurred in the keyword or not. If it is not, then we put that in a sequential way. Okay, so this way we fill this matrix. Now the question is, after filling the matrix, how we do the encryption? That is very interesting. We'll do the encryption in a we split it into two alphabets together. I mean, like suppose this is the plain text: meet me at the bridge. So we split the sentence into diagram, like MEET. This is ME already. This is AT, TH, then EB, then RI, then DG, and then we have a E over here. So we have to take a dummy character, that is X. So we put EX over here, last one, because last one is having only one single alphabet. So you have to put a dummy to become a diagram, to become a two alphabets. Okay. Now there is a restriction on this splitting. If we have a, say, if we have like balloon, if we have two same, we cannot put the same alphabet in this diagram, because balloon means BALL, but LL is same alphabet, so we have to again take help of dummy alphabet. So we use a X over here. So BA, LX, then LO, ON. Okay, is this clear? The splitting part?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now the question is, how will encrypt? We split it, now we have to encrypt. We have to convert this into ciphertext diagram. So ME. So we need to go back, just check ME, we need to go back the matrix. So where is M, where is E? So this is M and this is E. So we have identified the position of ME. So ME will be replaced by DG. So why we are taking D? D is the alphabet corresponding to the same column of M in the same row of E. So ME, this is M, this is E. ME will be replaced by DG. Is this clear? So that is the convention we use. So ME will be replaced by DG. Is this? Yeah. So let me go. Then ET. I'll take 2-3 examples, then it will be more clear. ET. Where is E? E is here. Where is T? T is here. So ET will be replaced by what? Can anyone tell me?
DO.
OD.
Yo.
Yeah. So because it is ET,
OT.
OT. OD.
D. OD.
OD. What about DO?
TE.
T.
No. Can ET? We can use DO. See, we can take the whatever decision we are taking in encryption, that we are using the same, we will take the same row or same column, then same technique we need to use for decryption. That is the only thing. If we use ET for ET, but that is same as ME also. For ME also, if we decided to ME, what we did for ME? DG. M is here, so E is here, DG. So instead of DG, if we use GD, if we decided to take the row and then instead of column. So anyway, that technique we need to remember for decrypting, file decrypting. Okay, that is okay. I mean, you can just, so anyway, we'll take the column wise, right? So ME, so ET, na, what was the ET? So ET will be replaced by OD. Great. Now, if they are in same row, suppose EB, we want to encrypt EB. What will be this thing? Any suggestion? EB. If we have a EB as a plain.
Sir, EB.
BE.
BE, sir.
EB, why do
Sir, E
you?
belongs to one plus one matrix. That's why E converted to E.
EB may be S and then D, SD. EB. So they are in the same row. So there is no question of column here. So EB will be S and for B it is D. But if it is say ES, EF, so we have to do the circular one. So SE kind of thing. Okay. So anyway, we have some example over here. So two plain text in the same row are replaced by the letter to the right with the first element on the row circularly, because that's why I said. So EB is replaced by SD. Let me Verify. Yeah, EB is replaced by SD. So NG is replaced by GI. Yeah, so here we have a NG. NG, where is NG? NG. So NG will be replaced by, so for N we have circularly G, and G will be replaced by I or J. So we have two options over here. So NG will be replaced by GI or GJ. Okay. Anyway, so this is the way we can just, you can just verify. So we have to remember the decryption also while we are encrypting, the way, in similar way we have to decrypt it. Okay, so this is, yeah.
So how will
Please.
we get to know that we are decrypting from from I or J, because they are the same cell?
Yeah, so that is the ambiguity over there. So you have to, from seeing the plain text, we have to see that. I mean, if we are, no, what is your question?
So in the ciphertext, sir, I and J, they both will be replaced by the same letter.
Yeah, I and J both will be replaced by same
So
letter.
how will we decrypt that?
No, it's a matter of only one character. So if we are just getting the same, so we can check whether meaningful thing or not. We can just, from there we can just identify, no? For only one alphabet, it should not be any problem. So you can take some more example where we can have I and J together. Okay, so this is almost the classical crypto system, which are the, so in the next class onwards, we will start the.
Sir, you are not audible.
Hello.
No, sir, you are audible actually. You are audible, sir.
Okay. Maybe you have some network issue. Now it's okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, yeah, so we stop recording now. Okay.